کمی بلندتر.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. One who has reached perfection, or at least in terms of sanity, but he has a wali or a guardian, then when the guardian is sane and reach maturity, and his authority has been established, like father or guardian or the jurist, then he has the criteria of sanity and maturity. Yeah, the guardian will have the rulings. Within his authority, he is acting in the interest of the one who is not mature or not sane, like Mirza Naini. So long as he's not acting against the interest of the individual, then it's enough. He's not harming him, then that is good. So if one gives the authority to perform marriage contract, and then the person in question could be asleep, for example. He's not aware, but the one who has the authority, he performs the marriage contract. The reason that the one who is not mature or not sane, his guardian who's acting on their behalf, then that's enough. If she has maturity and sound mind, then there is a dispute as to, or difference of opinion, that the one who's a girl and she requires permission of her father for marriage, that if without her permission, the permission of her father, the marriage contract is false or invalid. On this basis, if the father is stubborn or is inaccessible, or even if the if the boy is if the boy is good for the girl and the girl accepts, then even if the father doesn't is not stubborn, but he thinks it's not suitable, then if the girl agrees to that, then doesn't need the permission of her father. No. The faithful that the faithful should honor their word and contract, then this is general. If the girl says that for this marriage my father should be paid so and so, then okay, if she makes it, if it is the condition of the woman herself or the girl herself, it's fine. The important thing in marriage contract, the two parties are involved, the man and the woman. Whatever condition they put, then it's fine. If the father puts a condition, then it's not valid. That is not valid. On the other hand, if the father puts a condition, a precondition for the marriage, which is for the interest of the girl, then fine. Otherwise, the father has no role to play. And if it's contrary to the Sharia, then it's not acceptable altogether. If the father doesn't see it in the interest of the girl, then that's fine. And that is not considered as stubbornness. If he has the interest of the girl at heart for his position. Whether it's more or less. This depends on the preconditions. This should be assessed or should refer to the urf or the customs. We need to see what is the requirement. So if one not sure what is meant by this, and then on the other hand, if it's definitely what is stated on the surface is correct, but we need to see what is the intention. We still have to refer to the urf or the common norms. If we're not if the description that is given doesn't have any reality, it depends whether it has a reality on the ground or not. There are two different things, whether it's ignorance or in the difficult conditions. If there is difficulty, if the situation is described as difficult, yeah, this is giving that they have justification when they don't know about certain things, so this applies to them. A jurist doesn't have the right to give a decree against the Sharia. If the faqih has no probity or unjust, then yeah, that's a different issue. But a rightful faqih, if it's definitely that he has probity and he has justness and probity, then you should accept that his decree is valid. So you just have to accept that this is his decree and his fatwa.
لا يصير عدة الوفاة إذا مات الزوج في العدة تصير عدة الوفاة.
If the husband dies during the في العدة في
رجعية هكذا في البائن الآن مو بالبائن. شوف المسألة الشرائع من نعم.
If it's during the talaq period the husband dies, then it will be considered as that period will be considered as the period for she has to observe for the death of the husband. This narration has various versions. The late Allama Majlisi, may Allah be pleased with him, in the Bihar and in Mi'at al-Uqul as a narration from the Kafi. There are different descriptions for the word mufaham. What does it mean? In the commentaries on the Arrat al-Wuthqa, the conditions or requirements of the Marja' al-Taqlid. Istidhar or understanding from this, the fuqaha of this riwayah is they have different understanding. What his understanding is that his verdict, his fatwa and decree is a hujjah and proof for the people. This is my understanding, but there is a difference of opinion in this respect. There is no doubt that they have the highest. The 14 Ma'soom have the highest ranks, just like probity. Probity. We have Zayd and Amr, A and B. Both of them have probity, but one of them is higher than the other. Normally, in every case, whether it's a ruling to do with the Sharia, like the example you're saying, that shuhra, which is the conduct of the famous conduct of the jurist, the known conduct, that we have narration that give verdict according to what has become well known and common amongst your colleagues or companions. The jurists from the Sheikh Mufid until now, they act according to shuhra, which is something which is commonly known, even if the generation is not 100% secure, and the one which is non-mashhur, is not well known, even if the generation is sound, they don't act accordingly. Majlisi, the Sheikh Ansari in Kitab al-Tahara and Salah and Hajj and various works he has. In jurisprudence, if one find one case out of hundreds of cases, that Sheikh Ansari, that he gives a fatwa against or contrary to the shuhra, to the well-known issue amongst the scholars, show it to me. The thing which is well-known, common known, must act according to that. It isn't just it's good to act, but it must act according to that. Well-known or commonly known concept among the scholars. It has a overarching fame and popularity, or being well-known case amongst the scholars. This is another thing. If something which is well-known amongst the early scholars is different from that amongst the recent scholars, then this is different case. In the case of Walat Amir al-Mu'mineen, this is the well-known thing is common between the early scholars and the recent scholars. If it is commonly known and accepted amongst the early scholars and recent scholars, and this is there is definite about it, then you should act accordingly. The main principle is that it doesn't apply if you see the Rasail. I did once mention about the Shaykh. It should be rational. It should be unless the Sharia says otherwise. For example, the Sharia says that qiyas is not accepted. We're not mentioning. If the Sharia doesn't specify something specific, the Sharia says the speech of the probity and so on is hujjat. This is not the case amongst the scholars or the rational thinking. For example, someone who has probity doesn't lie or doesn't drink alcohol and so on. This doesn't apply to them. For the scholars or the rational thinking people. Someone who is religious may lie because of some permission to do when his life is in danger and so on. So the foundation of the uqala, the scholars or rationality is obedience and disobedience. If a physician comes, if he doubts something, someone who is expert in his field, in his medicine, about certain diagnosis, he doubts, and he says, all other physicians say that this diagnosis is because of certain medical condition, but he doubts this is the case. Then if he acts according to what is commonly known and it turns out to be wrong, then he will be excused among the physicians. But if he actually knows that this is wrong, of course this is different. But if he doubts about this and yet acts according acts on it, therefore he will be excused among the physicians. Something which is commonly universally accepted and so on, basically shuhrat. Some scholars consider shuhrat as an authority and a hujjah, a proof. But not all.
شوية أعلى أحسن. أي لا، حسب يرجعون إلى الحاكم الشرعي حسب ما يحكم الحاكم الشرعي، إما بالانفصال أو غيره.
According to the judge or the jurist, how he gives a verdict between them.
شلون شوي أعلى. إي عجل الله فرجه. المسؤول الكل، كل بمقدار فهمه وبمقدار طاقته.
Everyone according to their ability and understanding and competence, they should fulfill their duties.
نبوده یا برخل قبلا نبوده؟ شهرت متأخرین بدون شهرت قدما.
If the shuhra of the recent scholars is different from it's contrary to the shuhra of the early scholars. It is said that the late Burujati says the shuhra of the early scholars has priority, but some don't accept this. If the shuhra of the recent scholars are contradictory to the early scholars, to that of the early scholars, then maybe
تسامح شد در ادله سنن بلا اشکال ما قبول داریم، مشهورم قبول داریم. اما اگر یه جایی به یک حکم الزامی برخورد به خاطر یه عنوان ثانوی،
if this deals with an obligation, then we have to strictly stick to this principle. So the discussion is that whether the shuhra is hujjah and is proof or not. Sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala.
وما